Alright, so we're trying a little experiment this week. Gonna stick with the downward pick slant and kind of just stick with what feels natural for you right now. Like I mentioned, last night, I mean, yeah, you can get the downward pick slanting style of picking going pretty fast there, but it'll never be as fast as an upward pick slant where you have to do the anchor point and all that stuff. So something to keep in mind, but I like to see what happens while we use what feels more natural to you and push that as far as possible. And then maybe once you start reaching your downward pick slanting limitations, maybe your body will naturally want to switch over to the other style. So we'll see. But again, as I've said, and I'll continue to say, as long as the notes sound the way you want them to, that's the most important thing. So, all downstrokes for exercise number 1. And let me turn a little bit so you can see what my pick looks like. I'm actually going to use this guy. And I'll go ahead and stay in the downward slant for this. And it doesn't have to be like a drastic one, but go ahead and use your anchor point and all that. Anyway, enough talk. Here we go. 60 beats a minute. Double time. Nope. 160. Hang on. I'm trying to force the downward slant more. Weak pinch. Alright, 200 beats a minute. It's definitely getting tough right there. I was just gonna say, technically, if you're able to downstroke 200 beats a minute, you should be able to alternate pick 16th notes at the same tempo. But there definitely does some difference in the way it feels comes into play. I don't know if I can do 240, but let's give it a go. Nope, ain't gonna happen. So. No usual goal speed of 240 for something like this because it's just too hard to get that fast with all downstrokes. And then exercise number 2, basically just go in the other direction, all upstrokes, which will not be as fast as the downstrokes. I don't know if anyone out there can actually do upstrokes faster than down, but here we go. Remember, when you're picking this stuff, so for the first one where you're doing all downstrokes, your pick will be going down towards the guitar, okay? So when you're doing this upstroke one, you're going to be picking away from the guitar, so you should be seeing your pick coming out and away from the guitar. Alright, so 120... $160. Let's see if I can do at least 200 for the upstrokes as well. It's definitely harder. Okay, exercise number 3. All right. I think anything too special to mention on this one. So let's just get into it. 60 beats a minute. Here we go. $120. So remember, this is like the bare minimum speed you should be getting to on your near the end of your first practice session with this. So this is the first time we're doing 16th notes for the legato stuff. So if you're struggling, or if you can't get to at least 120 at the end of your first practice session, you're gonna have to back it down to doing 8th notes instead. So 2 notes a click, and then once you get that back up to 240, then you switch back over to the 16th notes, and then you should be all good there. So this is one of those instances where I have to do this myself sometimes. Like if you can't reach that graduation speed thing, because remember, 240 beats per minute with 8th notes is the same speed as 120 beats per minute using 16th notes. So you got to be able to at least hit that spot again. And if you can't, you just got to back it down again and work the 8th notes back up. But you should be able to hit that at least in a day or two. I believe you can. I think the only real big challenge on this one is now you are doing consistent playing. There's no gaps in this one. So you might find it's your forearm is getting a little tired when you're doing this one. So here it is at 160. Let's do 180 for the next one. So this is feels challenging for me. And let's finish with 200. That was bad. Whew. So anyway, let's move on to number 4. So basically, you're going to count this as a triplet. Reposition myself here. Okay. That'll work. All right. So 60 beats a minute should sound like this. So every time you go up to that A string, it's going to be an upstroke. Here it is at 120. $160. $200. And $240. Okay. On to the rhythms. Alright, here we go. 60. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1 and and one and one and one and one and one and one one and done. And now the extra complicated one. A 1, 2, 3, 4, and 2 and 4, 1 and 3 and 4, 1 and 2 and 4, 1 and 2, 3 and 2 and 4, 1 and 3 and 4, 1 and 2 and 4, 1 and 2, 3 and done. All right, I believe that covers everything. But as always, if you have questions, please let me know. And I will see you in a couple weeks.